Welcome to Alphabet Corner. This segment of Diversity Roulette. That
Sorry.
was meant to be funny.
I just had
Good.
flashbacks. My bad.
So this week our other counterparts have not. What is that sound? Is that you?
Hmm?
Are you playing that sound?
Huh, what?
Oh, I'm playing a sound. That was weird. Did you hit play or did I hit that?
I did.
Um.
Hold up, I'll switch back to your brand.
Yeah. So our counterparts aren't here today for Diverse Roulette. So today, Alphabet Corner, where the queers come to talk. I'm sorry, I don't know. Do you care if I refer to you as queer also?
Oh, totally. I'm whatever.
I'm part of the mafia. No, I'm just kidding. Like, eat that. That's
Look, I used to joke around that I'm like Gonzo. I'm a whatever.
You know, Gonzo came out, right?
You did?
He did.
What?
Yeah, I don't remember. I think he came out as non-binary or something like that.
I guess I am. I might as well be Gonzo. I just don't. Whatever. Oh. No, for real. I'm just. Yeah. It's the queers today. Sundays for the queers. Except we're not at brunch, so that makes me sad. God knows I love a good brunch.
Yeah, I think it was like in
Mostly.
2015 that Gonzo came out.
2015? Really?
Or no, maybe it was. He came out as non-binary. But now that on like one of the animated series, he wears a dress.
Mm-hmm.
No, this was okay.
Okay.
Gonzorella Part 2 that came out in 2021. And he like put on like a Cinderella outfit. Or they, them, right? Non-binary is they, them,
yeah.
right? Okay. I'm
Usually,
horrible
yes.
with pronouns. Like, it's not like I'm trying to like misgender people, but I always forget to use the proper pronouns. And I tried it. Like, I try to correct myself, but I get it. Like, I know, like, well, there's some people that blatantly refuse to use them, but I get it. You know, there's a lot of people out there especially in our community and other communities, that struggle with trying to use the proper pronouns, even like if they aren't trying to be like homophobic or transphobic or non-binary phobic. I don't know what the terminology for that would be.
Not sure. All I know is I've been saying they, them since I was a kid. Immigrant grandparents, go visit them. They get it all mixed up. So I grew up saying they, them, there in my head there, or sometimes I'd say that, and they're like, just say him or her. And it started then when I was a kid. And I was like, nah. So anyway, people who get all worked up about pronouns, which, you know, I can kind of get it for when you're getting constantly misgendered, sure. You can get upset about that. I know I would.
Right.
But except I don't. And then people who are, you know, cisgender there, who get worked up about pronouns, all upset. I'm not going to say they, them, or why don't you just call her he? And it's like, you just called her. You're working extra. You're working overtime. Just call people by their names if you really don't want to. If you don't want to give in to the agenda, just call them by their name, the right name.
Call me
and
by
no dead
my.
names.
It's such a good movie. Sorry.
Shut up.
The book is good too. Oh my god. Call me by my name. Credit to whomever wrote that. I can't think of the name right now. We can cite that later if I remember.
No, I don't know why I'm so tired. All I can think of is Robin singing All your girl can. Anyway, what were you saying?
Yeah, I think you messaged me at what time last night? It was like,
I don't know, 3 a.m. or something.
no, it was 11:30. So you probably stayed up a little later than that, right?
Oh, you know it. I couldn't get sleep.
I went to bed early, so I was actually getting ready to go to bed when you messaged me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, yeah, because we have a friend over. We went and played board games at my partner's family's house, and we had a friend that stayed with us because it was so late that he didn't drive back to his place. But so
okay,
I wasn't able to get in my computer because he was staying in the guest bedroom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I don't have this lovely setup that you see behind me. I have.
You think?
So either a rich white woman designed this backdrop behind us, or a gay man did.
Yeah, there's no in between. Or if a straight man claims he did it, he had hired one of them.
Yeah. Because I mean, first of all, someone with what side is it? I can't see what side it is. Anyways, okay, my screen is reversed. This is my left hand, but this couch right here is white.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nobody gets a white couch that has had kids. That couch would not be white for long.
Yeah. This is true. I mean, they might not even use that one. It might be the couch that's behind you that's beige.
Like,
look, that's not
faux
just
leather. That's faux leather, isn't it?
Looks like it.
It's
Yep.
faux leather.
It's leather.
Faux leather, pleather.
I was sitting there thinking, like, no, that color is not because the light, trajectory there, or that it's just backlit. It's a different couch entirely. They couldn't even get a matching set.
It's one of those accent couches.
There you go. Sure.
So, have you seen the backlash of Anheuser-Busch for their support of the trans creator? I have it. I had it in my head. 2 seconds. I was like going into this. I hate this. Is my biggest thing. Is like I try to.
Dylan Mulvaney.
Mulvaney. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had Dylan's name in my head, and then it just because I was reading that article, but like apparently Bush or like lost like Anheuser-Busch lost like $5 billion because of that. Because a lot of like southern bars and such said that they would no longer distribute that brand. And I'm sitting here like, okay, first of all, if you were to cut everything queer out of your life, you can go live in a cave and just be wearing your I can't say Levi's because Levi's supported LGBT too. So like there's just so many companies that have backed our community. It's like, what are you gonna live on? Are you gonna live like cavemen? Because if you live like cavemen, that's pretty gay too. I'm pretty sure that's a niche somewhere, right?
I'm sure. Oh no, don't look it up. I'm sure there is.
What, were you tempted to look it up or something?
No, I'm just looking, and then I was like, no, don't look that up. It's a trap.
It's a trap. It's a horrible trap.
If it actually exists, it's a trap.
It exists. It has to exist. You're a little blurry right now. Your camera just went all fuzzy.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm on my mobile hotspot. I gave up on my home Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I just thought I'd let you know.
Provider.
It's working as intended, right?
Oh. It's like blazing fast.
Are you at your partner's house?
Hit a bridge. Nope, I'm at home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the service pretty bad up there? Like,
no, it was great. I worked from home. I had no problems. After the windstorm that knocked down my fence, part of the siding, and snapped the pole in half. I don't know if I sent you that picture.
No.
Yeah, that was when I was without power for 5 days. Power and internet at home.
Wow.
That was those first big windstorms we had. And there were tornadoes out west. Yeah. That was beginning of April, right? No, end of March. Yeah, end of March. But anyway, they took... What was it? It happened. It went out on a Saturday. Luckily, I was at my partner's. And then they put the pole up on Monday. I guess AT&T administers the poles up here. And then the lines didn't get hung and fixed until a Wednesday, so 5 days. And since they rehung it, it's just been spotty at best. And then the guy's like, I wasn't home. He came last weekend when my roommate was off, and he was, oh, everything looks great in here. The pole looks a mess. And she was like, yeah, it's a new pole. AT&T rehung everything after they put a new pole in. It's brand new. You can see it. And
have you ran a speed test?
No, it's too intermittent. And he's
okay,
like, oh, I'll put a maintenance thing in. But I haven't had the chance to look that up at work. We're busy. It don't stop.
It don't stop believing. I don't know if I like this layout.
I don't stop crying. Excuse.
I don't know. I'd probably reach out to employee services if it continues.
Yeah, right. No, if it continues, I'll just have to reach out to Sean and be like, hey, so they promised this. That didn't happen. Can you email dispatch?
Surprised it didn't happen.
Oh no, I've never seen that before. Oh. No, I swear they're just trying to get rid of me.
You know what though? I'm to the point where it's like I'm giving my paid amount. Like, I'm not silent quitting or anything like that. I'm working. It didn't pay off to give my all for the last 6 years, apparently.
Right.
I gave my all. I worked hard, and we saw how that played out. Because you're in the same boat as me right now. Well, not as bad of a boat as I am in. My boat has holes. Yours at least has a life raft.
I don't know how. I mean, I had been on, like, what is it? The written warnings and such in there. And then at one point, I just gave up, and I was just like, this is before they coined quiet quitting.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow my stats rose enough, and then I got the promotion, and then they phone trained, or no, they phone trained me as a rep 1 like you got. And then I somehow, after coming within one warning away from a like a termination. Turned that around and got the I repped up, and then after that, we were in the program, and then they went and unceremoniously dropped us a couple months ago from that.
Yeah. It wasn't even a couple months. It's been like a month and like less than a month. It's been like a month because it was happened in March.
Oh my gosh, you're right. It feels like longer.
It does. Yeah, it does. But
it feels so much longer, and that's not a good thing in this case.
It is what it is. I like the fact that I have a decent paying job. I like the employees I work with. For the most part, if it's a fairly decent job.
It is.
Fairly decent. But all right. Anyways, different. Let's move on.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, let's not.
So I constantly feel like our community is continually just under attack after attack after attack, and I don't understand why it's such a huge deal to so many people. What you do, what you say. Like, first of all, am I in your bedroom? Am I causing issues in your household?
Right?
Or are you just so insecure with who you are as a person that you have to go after an entire community? You and your closeted, like-minded people are coming after our community because you're too afraid to live your true self? Or is it just like you just hate because people are better and aren't like you? You know, our community is one of the most forgiving communities there's ever been, but we're also one of the most. We will take a beep down. Are we cussing in here? I don't know.
I don't know. Did I cuss already?
I don't know.
Where's the censors?
We need someone to go through our streams and get like little random emojis popping up on our faces every time we say a word. Right. Just over our mouths. Just like, beep, 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 beep. I want to be a sailor for more than one reason. One of them is cussing.
No, you want to be a pirate. They'd never had to go through no hazing like that. Pirates were traditionally the LGBTQ community. That's a fact.
I know. So we're the Spartans.
Oh yeah, Spartans. There was
They were so powerful because, like, okay, first of all, they didn't have all the worries of like of someone left behind. Someone was there in the army with them, so you're gonna fight harder to protect someone that's right there with you. Not to mention, like, it was just our community is more fierce, anyways. Hey.
Are you talking about the Sacred Band of Thebes?
No. What's the Sacred Band of Thieves?
You've never heard of the Sacred Band of Thebes, which is another Greek group. And no, they were really, because, I mean, yeah, Spartans, Greeks had this, just before we get into that, Greeks had that system there, I can't remember what it's called there, but, you know, you'd essentially apprentice under people and such there. And that's where people were like, oh, the Greeks are all boy fuckers. Sometimes they did. But guess what?
So have the Catholics and the Christians.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I was going to say. But that's another story for another time. So the Sacred Band of Thebes are who I think you're referring to. It was this group of soldiers. It was at least 150 pairs of male lovers. they formed an elite group in the Thieves Army. Thebes, Thebes. Bes.
Thebes. I know about, yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Just
I
for
think I know
some
what you're
people who are
talking
like,
about,
he's
yeah.
talking about thieves, these evil gays. Anyway,
the only thing they're
and
stealing
then they turn around in June and go, "Hi, gay."
They're butt thieves.
Do you like to buy things? Anyway, so they were like that. They were in the Thief Army, and it was to help end like Spartan domination or something like that. Teehee. But it was they were pairs.
Those leather
okay?
daddies.
They would take care of each other. Okay.
So it's similar, yeah.
Oh,
because they did the same thing in Spartans.
Okay. That's right. Older ones and younger ones, yeah. And they translate the older ones, their name for them translated to a version of lover, and the younger ones were their title was translated to a version of beloved. Lovers and beloveds. That's so cute. Aww. I'm sorry. I need to go back in time. Let's see. Sorry, I pulled it up finally. Claims those exchange of sacred vows between lovers and beloveds at the shrine of Aeolus. Oh, one of the lovers of Heracles. That's right. Sorry,
Heracles
it's all making
Hercules?
sense. Heracles.
Heracles or I can't make out what you're saying.
Heracles.
Okay.
Like, like more with the traditions of Greek mythology there. The ones that say like he was named after Hera to kind of spite her, and also because part of the mythos was that Hercules didn't attain his immortality, or not his immortality, but his demigod abilities essentially, until he suckled from Hera, because Hera was not his mother, but her milk was able to bestow that godliness. Yeah, Greek mythology is crazy. I listen to some podcasts just to listen to the different versions that people are, telling, and I'm like, okay, so it's kind of like how it was when this was actually going on. Everyone had their twists and different stories. That's the thing with oral histories. But that's okay. I'm not cutting in and out, am I?
No, you're good.
Okay.
You've been good. You've done good, boy. You've done good. Oh, boy. So, you know how they do sometimes on the no, I can't go into that because it's that comes. Never mind. I can't talk about that on recorded because that goes to work. Right. So, the other day I had a customer that I wanted to they were just being very hateful towards our community, and I really just wanted to hang up on them. Like, sometimes I just get so flustered because like I feel like we have to accept and take all this abuse that other people from the straight communities don't have to worry about.
Yeah.
And it's like it makes for a workplace. Like I honestly, I just feel like, we work for a company that's supposed to be inclusive, but continually it feels like we have to put up with this stuff, otherwise we get in trouble. And then
right.
Nicole was telling me that she was talking to a customer last night that got like that. They got transphobic, and it just made me like, I wish they were more clear about the things we could and could not do. Like, I wish we could just disengage from that customer and be like, okay, well, we're going to take a step back because what you're saying is not professional.
Right. No, I get it. No, I've been in that position way too many times.
Too many times, and it's like, I don't know if I ever tell you my Cedar Point story.
No, what's your Cedar Point story?
So I used to work at Cedar Point. Great company to work for, great employees, a great management team.
Okay.
But I was working in guest services. So guest services is basically anything that has to do with like ticket sales or seasons passes and guest complaints. And I had an awesome lead. She was pretty cool. But so this one time, it was like towards the end of the day, she had to go do her duties and check on like the ticket booths and everything. And I was left in guest services by myself, which I could handle. I'm usually pretty good at that. And mind you, it'd been like, this is like 10 o'clock at night. Maybe not that late. It was in the evening. I don't remember exact time, but it was in the evening. And this guy comes in, and it was in June because it was on Father's Day. I remember that because that is also the unofficial Pride Day at Cedar Point, which isn't something that Cedar Point set up. That was just something our community said, okay, well, we're all going to go show our pride at Cedar Point on Father's Day because, you know, so many unspoken daddy issues, you know. But anyways, I'm sitting there, and this guy comes in and starts yelling at me. And he's like, I can't believe you let them in here, and it's disgusting that a company like you would even allow this display of grossness. Like, he said all kinds of hateful things. He's like, there should, and then one of the things, like, he was like, if you're gonna have gay pride on Father's Day when people are trying to enjoy this park with their families, then you should have some kind of sign up front. And I was like, had to explain to him, I was like, well, that's not a Cedar Point sanctioned work. And then he like proceeded to yell profanities at me about LGBT people, and I had to sit there and nod and smile. I'm like, I'm so sorry, sir. You know, yeah. Well, I do apologize that you feel uncomfortable about that. This is not a Cedar Point. This is not a Cedar Point sanctioned event. They have every right to be here, just like everybody else. And I just like inside, I'm just like so angry and so mad because I have to deal with this. And then he wanted a refund for him and his family. A refund. Pull up his tickets. He was one of the first people in the park that day. One of the first people in the park that day. So you've literally spent the entire day at the park and didn't back down. Like, you didn't have an issue with it while you were riding all your rides. By the way, in my head, I'm thinking, you know, those ride operators, you see them? They were putting the seatbelts on you and your kids, making sure they're. I guarantee you, the majority of them were in the LGBTQ community.
Right. He was perfectly happy to have
sure you're safe.
Them grabbing close to your dick the whole day.
You enjoyed it long. And then when I told him I could not give him a refund, he lost his shit, and like he was threatening me, telling him he was gonna meet me out in the parking lot. And I had secretly pushed. There's a little security button. I had secretly pushed the button.
Good.
To get security, but I had to sit there and wait. And like eventually, like my lead showed up, my manager showed up, my manager's boss showed up, and the CEO of Cedar Fair showed up. And finally, the guy was escorted out by our security. And I looked at my boss and I was like, I need to go on lunch. I was like, I've already ate today, but I need to go on lunch. And she's like, go take your time. And I had to walk through the park with a smile on my face. And I'm sitting there like tears running down my face. I'm like crying, but I kept my smile until I got to the break area. And I was just like, I could not believe someone was that like hateful. Like that was not my first time experiencing it, but it just was so infuriating.
It's supposed to be a good day that day.
Yeah.
And that came in.
Oh yeah. But
I know you were working, but it was a day where you might have almost let your guard down a bit. You know, I know I would have.
But like, I hate the fact that like sometimes it's expected of us to be the bigger person.
Oh right, to be customer service, to be paid to be yelled at. It's just, it's indentured servitude.
I once had someone wrote FAG on my car. One time when I worked at a hotel, I came out to my car and it was written on my car.
Like, just like in the dust or in the snow, or
like it was they had like they didn't destroy it, like they had, it wasn't dust because there was no dust, but it was like they had marked it up, and so it looked like it wasn't scratched in. I don't know what they used. It was like some kind of like like those little
glass paint
wash off
markers.
Yeah, the white. Yeah. I don't know. It was like some kind of paint. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, the glass paint. Okay.
Yeah, I was able to get it off, but like that was like it didn't take long to get off, so it must have been like still wet. I don't know like what happened there, but I was able to get it off, and I just was like, I'm in the parking lot. I'm like scared because like, what if this is someone that's like this person knows who I am? So like it had to been someone either I worked with or someone knew who I was, and there was no cameras, so it was like they didn't catch it. So I was like, I just washed it off, and I didn't even say anything to my boss about it. I just washed it off my car and I went home. But like,
that's scary.
Like, yeah, it's like I've dealt with stuff like that like off and on throughout my life, like people, because I refuse to go back into the closet. I refuse, because like being in the closet, I don't know how long you were in the closet, but I was in the closet way too long, and it's hard. It was harder with all this shit. This is the fucked up part. With all this shit that I've dealt with since I've come out of the closet, it was harder to be in the closet.
Yeah, it was. No, I came out sometime in high school. I mean, my parents, we all knew. Like, it was, do you need to talk about something? No. Do you need to talk about something? No. And then at prom, my boyfriend at the time was going to college not far. He was in Kent. And I was like, okay, we'll have him sign the form and we'll have him go to my prom. And I show up at my parents' house back at home. And I was like, is there a tux I could borrow from my boyfriend? And my dad's like, yeah, hold up. And that was it. That was their,
so your parents are green light. Pretty accepting.
Oh, totally.
That's great. I'm glad they were.
I'm very,
you don't see that
very
too often
lucky
in our community. Yeah.
Yes, I am so very lucky.
I feel so much pride for people who have accepting parents. Like, it's just, I'm glad they don't have to, like, my mom loves me. I know she loves me. I love her. And like, it took her, there was an adjustment period for her to get used to it. I mean, she doesn't like, she wasn't hateful, and she wasn't like rejecting of me. She just needed time to come to terms with
process.
everything. Exactly. Like,
yeah.
I will forever be grateful for my mother. I wasn't living with her when I came out. That's a story for another time, and I don't know if I'll ever share it because people I love and care about were not put in great light in that story.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like,
you're gonna have to have a pretty big payout to do this.
The people I thought would have been the most accepting were like the least accepting, and the people who I thought would be like I love my twin sister. She is amazing. She is very growing up, like she was more religious than the rest of us, or I thought she was, because that's how I perceived her. And I thought she would have been the most judgmental, but she was the most accepting of who I am. Like, to this day, she's my favorite person in like the entire world. Like, she's gone above and beyond to make the world a better place, and I just adore her.
Yeah.
And don't tell her I said that. I'm saying it on a recording line.
As you say on a recording.
I'm on record.
This video is recorded for quality assurance.
Quality assurance and purposes.
On a quick side note, I'll say that to customers real quick. Like, look, I understand what we're saying here, but just remember we're on a recorded line there. I would never want you to have to put yourself in any kind of position you didn't want to be in.
I have to tell customers, like, when they say, well, this is dangerous, I'm like, well, be careful and don't do anything that's gonna put yourself in danger.
Yep.
Like, I'm sorry that unplugging the power to that device is dangerous. But I did not put it in that position. Or these people that mount their TVs on the wall, but they have blocked all the power cords behind the TV, and not to where that you can actually access them. And they didn't make the TV so you
That's
can
a fire hazard.
Swing the TV out. It is. It's 100% fire hazard. But, you know, when you got money to do stuff like that, you do stuff like that.
Can you imagine if fire marshals inspected houses?
My house would be marked because I've got
mine right now is bad.
Like, you can't even get to my furnace. Like,
oh no!
I mean, it's not up against the furnace. You just can't get to it.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know. Honestly, I need to get rid of those chairs. They're just everywhere.
Why, you hold AA meetings in your basement?
LGBT meetings in my basement.
Oh my.
Actually, no, it's not in my basement. I live in an apartment, so it's actually in a closet. So, you know, gotta block the closet. Nobody's gotta go into the closet here.
I gotcha.
All right, here's a question for you.
Okay.
It's a two-parter, and then I'll ask you this, and then you can ask me anything afterwards. But what is your least favorite, and what is your most favorite part about being a member of the LGBT community?
My favorite part and my least favorite part. Well, definitely the parts where you have to put up with other people, both in and outside the community. Sometimes you're like, about people's words, choices, actions there. I'm not just talking about femme versus mask or any kind of stupid stuff like that there. There are things that irk you no matter who you are, even if it's someone, you know, for anyone. And it's like, no, I gotta tell myself I've got to be supportive. They're just trying to be their authentic self, I hope. And that means different things to everyone. But one of the things I love the most, it might be just, you know, going to the different prides I've been to. They're not big prides or anything crazy. It's mostly been local ones, but just seeing the community and everyone interact And it's like, no, this is beautiful. This is the way it should always be. For anyone, regardless of race, sex, gender, any other identifiers, they're all just labels at the end. Labels. And when we can...
So many labels.
So many different apps for that matter too. But but no, it's beautiful when you're at Pride, and you know, everything's so accepting. It's a beautiful thing. I think I did cry a little bit at my first Pride. Not sobbing or anything crazy.
Oh,
Just
just a little like,
it was
let me just,
relief.
get that out of there. That's
Yeah.
great.
And then I bought a fan. What happened to that fan, I don't know. Probably lost at one of the myriad gay bars I've been to.
I got this from Pride last year.
Oh.
And so I have attempted
Okay.
multiple
My boyfriend
times
has
to
one like that.
well, I've attempted to go to Pride multiple times at different locations, something always happened where there are people like the people are going. I didn't want to go to Pride by myself for the first time, and so
Right.
I went to Columbus Pride once, and it rained out, and so my friend that went with me and I and a couple of her friends went to a bar. We just hung out at the bar, and then we went back to like one of her friends' places and hung out and drank, but we didn't actually get to participate in Pride. And then I went to other times. It's like always something happened. Like one time I was gonna go to like Cleveland Pride and my car broke down. One time I was gonna go to Pittsburgh's Pride and I got robbed.
Oh my gosh.
But finally, last year I went to my first Pride. I had 34 years old last year. That's sad. 34 years to get to my first Pride. It wasn't for lack of trying. It was just like circumstances. But my friend M, she went with me. Bless her heart, she was so sweet. I was kind of disappointed at like how little was going on and how many corporations were just like, here's one of our souvenirs for Pride, and here you go. Be prideful, but do your business with us. Like, okay, this is just a corporate sellout right now.
Thanks,
that's what it
US
felt like.
Bank.
There was like several different banks there. They don't care who they're doing. They don't really care about Pride. They care about what kind of business they see it as a business.
They know exactly what's important.
They do.
Getting other people's money.
But then there was like local vendors who are also LGBT people, and that was pretty cool. And there was like 2 food options, which I was like, dang. I kind of wish there was more food options, because the one I could not eat out because it was like seafood. I was like, well, there's death on a stick, and then and the other one was just like such a long line. I was like, well, I'm gonna die in this line. But I think it was definitely a good experience. I would like to go to a bigger Pride like this year. I would like to, but I want to go with like people.
No, that's fair. I would love to go to a bigger Pride. The last ones I'd been to were Akron and Cleveland, and those were a couple years ago before the pandemic.
But Pittsburgh's not far from us. You and we're not far from Pittsburgh.
I'm closer to Pittsburgh than you are.
I don't think so. I think we're about the same distance.
I think it's about 60 miles for me.
It's 60 miles? It's 58 miles.
It's 60. Okay, yeah, it's the same distance. Okay. I love Pittsburgh. It is a beautiful city. I have only gone like once or twice. They have such beautiful architecture. I still need to go to the Andy Warhol Museum.
Don't go to their zoo. It's the worst zoo I've ever been to.
No,
That's right, Pittsburgh. Clean your stinking zoo. Okay, what's the point of going to a zoo when you can't even see the animals through the glass because of all the dirt on the windows? Like, I don't support zoos. I mean, what? No, zoos. I love zoos. I love zoos, but I do. I actually kind of like despise. I like. I'm like torn between the zoos because I hate
love hate
the fact it's a love hate relationship. I love seeing these animals up close. I don't like it when they have these very small enclosures, like Akron Zoo. Have you been to Akron Zoo?
No, I haven't had the chance yet.
Like one of the some of the enclosures are smaller than a bedroom. Like
for like animals that aren't insects or birds or snakes.
Right. Like mammals and other critters who need a lot more space. You're saying like those enclosures, like it was like, okay, we have this small little block, let's turn this into a zoo and like cram as much into it as we can. It literally took like 10 minutes to walk through the whole zoo, and it was like, I'm sitting here like, it's not that expensive. It's a very affordable zoo to go to, and if like you have small kids and everything, that's a great place to go. But then you're like, the activist side of me is like, is that even humane for like the animals in like a kennel have more space than this?
Right? Did it feel just a little bit like the original Lady and the Tramp movie, where the zoo is like an old English zoo, and it was just bars and brick, like
it was. Well, there wasn't bars; it was like glass. Enclosures.
No, I mean, I know, but the same feeling, because they were just small little rooms for the lions and the bears and other things to be in Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. But gotcha. I mean, maybe they have enclosures, maybe they have more space behind the windows that you can see. I don't know.
Maybe, because there are the ones where I mean, the one I've been to the most is Cleveland Zoo. And, you know, a lot of them have the little doors for them to go in and such there. Oh, yeah, they even got the rainforest. Rainforest was always good because whenever we had school field trips growing up there, which was only once or twice, I think, because we did other stuff, it was always raining when we got there. So we went in the rainforest first. Oh, the sun came out. Let's go have lunch and go out to the the actual zoo now. Yay! No stinking wet dog smelling kids. Yeah.
There you go. I actually had an idea once with one of my friends. We had talked about like hitting up all the zoos across America, but having a rating scale. Like we would literally start at one zoo and work our way across every zoo in America, and we would like have this grading scale that we would grade. Okay, number of animals, the size of the enclosures, the cleanliness of the zoo, that if the animals looked happy or not, how busy was the zoo, was there good feeding options, like food options, like just all these different, like what was the parking situation. And we had this whole checklist, and we had talked about, like, we never did it, but we had talked about like going around to all the zoos. There's a lot of zoos in Ohio alone. There's like, I think 5 or 6 zoos.
Does that include all the safaris?
I think so, yeah, because there's
there's
the wilds, the farms, or the wilds, the farm, Cincinnati, Columbus, Cleveland, Akron. I think there's like one other safari.
Sounds right, yeah.
I don't know if Toledo has a zoo, but you would think Toledo has.
But I don't think so, but they do have that safari up there, yeah.
Yeah. So like, yeah, we would check out the safaris too, but like, hey, maybe that's something we can do as diversity roulette. We'll like start going on outings if we can even get together for a whole day.
Yeah. That would take us all like putting money together and seeing if we can get a small group rate.
They don't do group rates. We would have to we would have to fly and make like plans like to go places. Like if we made like a week trip to go to like see all these zoos in like one state.
Oh, Groupon. Yeah, Groupon it. Yeah, do Groupon.
There we
See
go.
if they're on Because yeah, I think you're right. Group rates usually go for groups of like 20, 40 or something crazy like that.
There are 2,400 zoos in the U.S. alone.
Wow. Okay. But I mean, you definitely want to at least hit up the ones everyone knows about. Everyone knows about like San Diego Zoo and such. Yeah.
That's actually #1 zoo in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. And
so maybe we do the top zoos of each state.
I wouldn't mind going to the Tampa Conservatory area again. Seeing that, it was pretty nice when I was a kid. I can barely remember it because it's been, I don't know, probably close to 25 years since I was there.
The best zoo, okay, so I've been to a lot of zoos, but one of the best zoos I ever went to was the Omaha Zoo in Nebraska.
Okay.
I don't know the name. It wasn't called the Omaha Zoo. It was called something else, but it was definitely like, it was like amazing. It was like, it felt like you were literally going through, as a kid, I felt like I was in a safari.
Okay. That sounds neat.
#1, okay, so I just talked about the zoo, the Pittsburgh Zoo. It's number 4 on the U.S. ranked 24 best zoos. All right, here's the list.
Okay.
We're going through the list real quick because why not? #1 is San Diego Zoo. #2, Henry Doorly Zoo in Omaha. Hey, there you go.
Okay, there.
#3 is Denver Zoo in Denver, Colorado. Pittsburgh Zoo and PPG Aquarium, Pittsburgh. See, my thing is like, I don't know when was this article released, because that can't be.
If you're looking at the same one, August 15, 2022.
Yeah, well, maybe they've cleaned up since the last time I was there, because it's been a few years, but still.
Maybe.
I can't believe it's #4. Dallas Zoological Park in Marcellus Park, Texas. Bronx Zoo, New York City.
Yeah, the Bronx Zoo. Okay.
Cincinnati Zoo, Botanical Garden. No.
They might have been higher before they went and shot up Harambe, but I don't know.
Brookfield Zoo in Brookfield, Illinois.
You almost said Brookfield, Ohio.
Oakland, California, Oakland Zoo. Is it California? Yeah, California. Alaska Zoo, Anchorage, Alaska. And that's a nasty picture of a moose, but okay. It'll bite my arm off.
Wait, I didn't get that far. Oh.
#11 is Houston Zoo, Houston, Texas. #12 is San Francisco. So it sounds like we definitely need to hit up the zoos in California and Texas.
Yeah, right.
Woodland Park Zoo in Seattle, Washington. Illinois, Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago. Memphis Zoo in Memphis, Tennessee. Disney's Animal Kingdom, Bay Lake, Florida.
I'm surprised that one isn't higher.
See, I feel like that one would be expensive to go to, because you probably have to pay to get into Disney first and then pay to get into the zoo. Or do you think it's separate?
No, Disney's Animal Kingdom is just one of the parks. Yeah, you don't have to pay to get into Disney. I was always able to park free.
Really?
Yeah, and then Downtown Disney is free.
You just have to pay for all the rides and stuff, or
you pay to get into Animal Kingdom. You can either pay for all the parks there in the Florida Disney, or you can go and get admission to one of them there. You grab a quick day pass.
Oh, cool! I didn't know that. See, I've never been, so that'd be cool.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, we used to just go down to Downtown Disney for like different holidays and such when I lived an hour or so away from there.
All right. Well, there you go. Number 17 is St. Louis Zoo in St. Louis, Missouri. Number 18, Columbus Zoo and Aquarium, Liberty Township, Ohio. Hey, look at that, man. Ohio's making it twice on the list. Number 19, Phoenix Zoo, Phoenix, Arizona. Number 20 is Zoo Miami, Miami, Florida. 21 is Living Desert Zoo, and that's in Palm Desert, California. California's on here a lot.
Well, yeah.
Smithsonian National Zoo in Washington, D.C. 23 is Kansas City Zoo in Kansas City, Missouri. And number 24, the last one on the list, is Indianapolis Zoo in Indianapolis, Indiana. So there you go, folks. That is the zoo list for the day.
Brought to you by timeout.com.
Brought to you by Alphabet Corner. Used a list from another company, which was... I just closed out of that on accident.
That was timeout.com.
Was it Timeout?
Yeah.
Oh, timeout.com. That's why you said that. Okay. There you go. Yeah, you got me covered. What would I do without you, Theo?
Hey, I'm in your corner.
Dude, I love talking about animals.
I'm sorry.
You're in my corner. You're in my alphabet corner. What part of the alphabet do you belong to? Today's letter is G. G. It looks weird on the screen. Anyways.
Almost like when you write stuff down, like physically, and you're like, no, that doesn't look right.
But speaking of animals, okay, so this is a great organization that I want to actually plug real quick. I got this little sea turtle.
Oh, okay.
It's so cute, and it's his name is Sam. But it's Follow Your Legend, and they have these stuffed animals, and you can track. Like they each track different animals. Like they have a little tag, and the tag has like a little code. Like there's a little code underneath the sticker. You hold your phone up to it, and then it shows you the animals that your stuffed animal represents. And I got a turtle. I know they have like a sloth, a giraffe, a panda, an elephant, and they're so cute. I love them. This was not a paid advertisement. We were talking about animals, and I just love animals, so there you go. Free advertising, but we will monetize.
Right? You want us to do an ad read? Let us know.
All right.
You have to pay to send me gluten-free food.
All right. Well, I think it's noon now, so
yeah.
This has been a lot of fun, Theo.
Right? Yeah, it was great. We still got to record, even though the other ones were indisposed. But no, I'm glad to have joined you.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us, folks, at Alphabet Corner. Join us next week for either Diverse Roulette or another corner.
We'll see.
Nobody knows.
You have a good one, all right?
All right. Bye, folks.